Hey everybody, how's it going? It is Sunday, October 2nd, so happy spooky month to everybody. I figured I'd hop on for a little bit, kind of do my Letterboxd reviews, see what's going on. I haven't been haven't done a solo live stream in a while. I'll give it a second, let people get in here, because I just now announced it on Instagram that I was going live. But I haven't done my Letterboxd review since July, I believe, was the last time I did it. July 3rd, maybe. July 2nd. July 3rd. Something like that. Either way, I figured what the heck. Hopefully y'all can hear me out there. Go ahead and get into it here in a minute. Do you want to say happy belated birthday to Sue from Movies and Sue? I was on a live stream with her last Monday on Bob's Blu-rays. It was fantastic. So happy birthday to her. And today is Kenny Levels, Mr. Mid-Level Media, Ken, his birthday. So happy birthday to him. But we're going to do some reviews here in a little bit. I'll get it all pulled up, see what's going on. Give it 1 second here. Yep, there we go. So I figured I haven't done a review in a while. This new job's been kind of kicking my butt. I start at like 4 in the morning, get off usually around 2, and by 8 o'clock at night, I'm just out. So it's been making watching movies on my normal schedule a little difficult, but hopefully that will change soon. But let's see. Let me get this pulled up here. Okay, there's that. Give it one more minute, see if anybody shows up. Nobody shows up, I'll just do a live by myself. That's fine. But yeah, either way, let's go ahead and just get into this. So share screen. Share window. How about that? Is that showing up okay? Yeah. All right. So we left off The Princess Bride. So that was July 2nd. And the next night, July 3rd, I watched Dragon Inn. Just was my first foray into King Hugh. And it was interesting. I know this is responsible for inspiring other directors later in life. And let's see what I did here. Yeah, a group of imposters are waiting to ambush a group of exiles while taking over the Dragon Inn. They get thwarted by a small group of skilled fighters. Fight scenes were great, and there was no wasted dialogue. My first foray into King Hugh, and it won't be the last. So what really inspired later directors in that was King Hugh's camera style, his long shots, his long takes, his scrolling with the main characters and stuff like that. And it was a really, really good movie. And the fight scenes were fantastic. This was early wushu style martial arts and just fantastic. So let's see. Hey, Movie Hunter, if you're still in here, how you doing? I know it's been a while. I haven't really got to talk to you. Moving on. Okja. This movie, I had not seen it when it came out. And I was happy it got a Criterion release. Bong Joon-ho, very good director. Like I said, I hadn't seen it. This picture kind of does the movie justice. It's basically about capitalism and just industrialization. I shouldn't say capitalism, but I guess that's part of industrialization. But so these genetically modified pigs were sent out all over the world. There was like 5 or 7 of them. And this girl that was taking care of hers with her father, like comes really attached to it. And basically they come to take them to kill them. And because they're supposed to be genetically modified to basically end world hunger, all sorts of stuff. And basically she has to save them. And these people show up and they're kind of, you at first you think they're like PETA, like they're against the animal abuse and all that, and they're trying to interrupt everything, but then come to find out it's really they're trying to help her save Okja. It's really just a great movie. Looks beautiful in 4K. If you've never seen it, the 4K from Criterion looks awesome. Let's see. I'm doing good. Got a new job, and it's just it's been wearing me out. I start super early in the morning, and I'm just tired a lot now. So I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. So I figured I'd do this. Next, worst person in the world, another Criterion. Of course, this was picked up during the sale, I believe. I think I watched nothing but Criterions in July. Let me go back and look here. Yes, okay, so July was sale month, and this was nothing but Criterions that I watched this month. But worst person in the world, that was recommended to me by James over at 20 and 21st Movies. And I think it got a couple of good reviews from other people, so I decided to pick it up and watch it. And I was not disappointed. I heard you'll either love it or you'll hate it. And basically, I'll just read what I wrote. We follow Julie's life over 4 years and see the decisions and choices she makes or avoids. Ultimately, we see that she gets what she most likely wanted all along. I wanted to hate this movie at a few points during the runtime, but it kept pulling me back in with the realism and the script. Definitely did not expect to like it as much as I did. Highly recommended. So Julie makes some stupid mistakes, but she makes some really good choices in life too. And you just want to hate her. And the movie does a really good job of keeping you engaged with that wanting to hate her. But in the end, you ultimately kind of realize that her life choices are same life choices that you could be given. And it's a really, really good movie. And it is a Norwegian movie, and it is part of the Oslo trilogy. I forget who directed it, but really good movie. Blown away by it. Quite surprised. Next, Repo Man. So I've had this in my collection forever. In my Criterion collection, I bought it simply because it was Emilio Estevez. I heard it was a classic movie, blah, blah, blah. So I watched it. And it does have a really good Criterion packaging. There we go. It's got that really cool black and green and white cover. But a young man becomes a repo man and goes on a wild ride tracking down a mysterious person-killing car. This movie was like what I think snorting cocaine and running naked through LA would feel like. Story was simplistic, and there really wasn't anything spectacular about the visuals or cinematography. Movie goes full 80s, and it shows. One thing that ticked me off was the credits roll from the top to bottom versus the traditional bottom to top. Get edgy, Repo Man. Get edgy. So that's a weird complaint. I don't remember complaining about that, but yeah, this movie was kind of a trip. It's a sci-fi action, sort of action. It's more of just a straight sci-fi movie. But yeah, this movie was what it would be like snorting cocaine and running naked through LA would feel like. That was my opinion. So, hey, Joe Joker, how's it going? Figured do some Sunday review. So, Repo Man, snort some cocaine, run through LA naked. Next, so July. There's a gap here between the 3rd and the 11th. That was the weekend I quit my job, my old job. So I really got some watching time in July. And like I said, it was Criterion month. I watched nothing but Criterions. I got caught up on a lot of stuff that's been sitting on my shelf forever. But on the 15th, I rewatched Marriage Story, first rewatch. Still love it. The acting dialogue are fantastic and the story is moving. The apartment fight scene still got me, and this time around A+++, highly recommended. So if anybody watched my favorite 5, I did Adam Driver last week. This was my number 1 acting from him. His Charlie Baker character in this movie blew me away. Scarlett Johansson was awesome in it. And then Ray Liotta and Laura Dern as the lawyers. Fantastic acting. But this is it's a modern day Dang it, and I can't think of the movie where they get a divorce and the kid's involved. But it's a modern day version of that, and fantastic story. It's one of my favorite movies. I know a lot of people one time and done on that, but I like it. Yeah, Movie Hunter, I quit. Me and another employee got into it. Basically, I got hired in as a heavy capacity driver. I have a CDL. And like the first 2 years, that's what I was doing. And then I slowly got pulled into the implant side, which is van work. And there was another guy that got his CDL after I had already started. And he was starting to cause issues, cause problems, trying to get me in trouble. And we kind of went at it. And then kind of had words. And then me and my boss got into it. So I quit. About as simple as that. But the job I'm at now, it's a national company. It's a lot better pay, better benefits, better hours, just all around better. Moving on, the 19th, Lady Snowblood, the movie that if we did not have this, Quentin Tarantino would not have the inspiration for Kill Bill. A tortured and wronged mother dies after childbirth while in prison. Her daughter grows up to exact revenge on those who did wrong. Lady Snowblood rocks and is over the top. It's supposed to say top, not two, with a great story of revenge. This is the movie that inspired Tarantino to do Kill Bill, and it shows throughout. Great movie. So Lady Snowblood, it was really cool. Not a whole lot of action, but when there was action, it was bloody. It was over the top. It was a really good time. And then I think the same night, yes, I watched part 2. Not as good as the first one, but still good. I did give it 3.5 stars. I think I gave, what did I give Lady Vengeance or Lady Snowblood? Oh, come on, work. There we go. Yeah, I gave Lady Snowblood 4. I gave part 2 3.5. But basically, Lady Snowblood is hunted down and sent back to prison. She is given a chance to get out to assassinate a high-ranking person. She doesn't, and again is on the run. Story is less convincing in this one, but the action makes up for it. Not as interesting as the first, but it's still a good watch. Yeah, so the story kind of lacked, but the action in it was way over the top again, and really, really good. Yeah, I was thoroughly impressed with Lady Snowblood. I was kind of weary going into watching it just for the simple fact that Tarantino has talked about it so much and all that. I love Kill Bill. I figured I'd be like underwhelmed with it, but it was pretty good. Next, another Criterion. Chan is Missing. If I remember correctly, this was a new release also in July. And interesting take on Chinese American immigrants in LA, I believe, in Chinatown. And it's like a noir docu-style movie about a family trying to find a missing friend they trusted with their money for a cab license. So basically, they're trying to get ahead and become cabbies. And they give their money to, I believe it would end up being their uncle or their friend. I forget which one. And he just straight up comes up missing. So it turns into like a little like private investigative type style movie. And it was really neat, but it really looked at the struggles of, Chinese American immigrants in the early 80s and all that, and trying to find their place in life. I thought it was great. I gave it 4 stars. The style of filming was really cool too. I hadn't really seen like a noir docu-style movie. And the actors in it, you could tell they were not actors, but it really actually, I think, helped the movie. Let's see if anybody's. Let's see what's next. On to July 21st, Shallow Grave. So this is Danny Boyle's, I think it's Danny Boyle's first movie. And it's Ewan McGregor's first movie he's ever done. 3 flatmates are looking for a 4th person to fill in an empty room. They find a guy, and after a few days, he passes away in the room, leaving behind a suitcase of cash. This seemed like a simple story up to this point, but the story takes a grim turn and a few twists. So Ewan McGregor and the girl that are two of the flatmates are trying to basically keep their sanity together after this because they try to cover up the murder, or not the murder, the death. And they're trying to not give the money up, but they don't want to just like go blow it and blow their cover. And then the third flatmate just goes nuts. And I was really impressed. I've always liked Danny Boyle. I think he's a great director. And this is like, you can see the Danny Boyle style with the frantic pace, but it's not quite Danny Boyle yet. But I gave it 4 stars. Great movie. Ewan McGregor did great for his first movie. Next one. 24th, Drive My Car. Now, this movie's like 3 hours long, I think. So I only got to watch one movie this night. But this had also just came out in July. This movie blew me away. Going to this movie, I only knew it had 1 awards, and it was Asian cinema, which I love. I was blown away. Even with a 3-hour runtime, I was engaged through the whole movie. The story revolves around a man making a theater production and his struggles after losing his wife. The production company hires a driver for him during the residency stint. It uses very little dialogue. It uses very dialogue heavy. Oh, man, I must have been half asleep when I wrote this. I'm sure I was. It was probably 1 o'clock in the morning. It is very dialogue heavy and flows very well. It deals with life choices and the past in a kind, unique way. Another thing I loved about this is the mixing of languages. During the rehearsal scenes and a few others, it can switch from Japanese to Mandarin to Korean to English and even sign language. It's done very well. Highly recommend it. So this guy didn't want a driver. He was going to drive himself. He loves his car, but they hired this young girl to be his driver. She's like a professional driver. Started at a young age, and the little give and take between the two is great, and you learn more about the girl. He learns more about himself, and it's just really, really, really well done. And I forget what the play that they're trying to do is, but hey, what's up, 4K Lowdown? How's it going, man? The play that they're trying to do is actually a play. There's also another movie about the play, or is the play. I forget what it's called, but great movie. If you can spend 3 hours reading subtitles, I would highly recommend Drive My Car. Next, 26th, Taste of Cherry. This had been on my want list forever for Criterion, and I finally pulled the trigger. One of my things in July I was trying to do was get outside of Asia and buy stuff from other countries. This is a Iranian director, I believe. I also bought the Three Colors trilogy, which is French. But basically, an Iranian man drives around his town looking for someone to bury him after he commits suicide. And I should just leave it there at that. But it's a beautiful story. And this man meets several different people during his journey. He meets a military man, another young man, an older man, before he finally meets somebody that agrees to bury him. And he cannot be swayed. But he goes back and forth with each of these people, and you really learn about his life and thoughts and stuff like that. They talk about religion, beliefs, all sorts of stuff. And like I even said here, he finally meets an elderly man that agrees to his terms. You almost feel as if he has a change of mind after talking to this man, and you really do. But the final scene's left open. He goes out to where he was going to kill himself and have the guy bury him, and the movie ends there. But this was just a really, really insightful look into the mind of somebody that has made a decision. They know they want to die because of XYZ, and there's no swaying them. And I highly recommend this movie to anybody that would, like to watch something like that. Let's see. What's next? Tokyo Drifter, 30th. I've looked at this several times. I finally picked it up. 3.5 stars. It's 1966. So this is, I forget what his name is. It's Suzuki something or something Suzuki. But it's my first Suzuki film, and it won't be my last. The movie was a mess of sorts, but I think it was an intentional mess. Now, what I mean by that is I've never watched any of these Suzuki films before, and I feel like it's probably his style to be all over the place. But it's about Tetsu, an ex-Yakuza member, and his boss are trying. Man, I need to spell check myself. To be fair, half the time when I'm writing these, it's like midnight and I'm trying to stay awake. But him and his boss are trying to go legit, and they get double-crossed in a buyout. So basically, him and his boss are trying to get out of the Yakuza, and they're trying to legitimize their business that they have. And they want to buy another business to help legitimize them even more, and they get double-crossed. But Tetsu is a badass that can't be killed, and it's a sure shot with a gun. This dude is like 007, like the Japanese version. This movie is very stylish and over the top with this action. I enjoyed it very much. So I know I gave it 3.5 stars, even though I said I enjoyed it very much. But I really need to watch more Suzuki to see how his style changes, or if it does change. But very interesting watch. Very colorful too. You can even tell by the cover. It's like bright yellows and pinks, and it was a neat watch. Let's see. Got anything going on in the comments? Oh, still got 3 people here though. I'm happy y'all are here. Like I said, I haven't done a solo live stream in a while. I know coming up tomorrow on Bob's Blu-rays is round 2 of his Steelbooks versus slipcovers. I made it through round 1. I got smart, pulled a lot of my Asian titles, but tomorrow's going to be slipcovers. Last week was awesome. We had Pops Movie Dungeon, Durant Cinema, Movies Ensue, Tim Talks Talkies, Jake from Steelbook Obsessed, me, and Jay Fox from Steel Rays and 4Ks. And I feel like there was somebody else because there should have been 8 of us. Oh, Big Floyd, Big Chris from Floyd House Flicks. He was on there. But me, Tim, Jay Fox, and Jake are going to the finals in 2 weeks. So I can't wait to see who wins the slipcovers tomorrow. That's going to be awesome. I forget who's going to be on there, but it's going to be, yeah, they should, I think you were watching in that movie, Hunter. I was sitting there, I knew going into it, Fox and Jake had huge collections, but I was like, hey, Bob, I was just talking about you. I know they have huge collections, but you literally have every USA Steelbook, and it would have been interesting. Hey, Cal O'Delly's here too. Hey, Cal, how's it going? But no, it was really, really interesting. And some of those Steelbooks surprised the heck out of me. I hadn't seen before. A couple of the ones that Tim pulled were awesome. It was really, really cool. I can't wait to see what the slipcovers are, because I've got 2, one for sure, maybe 2 slipcovers I'm going to pull on mine, but the rest are going to be Steelbooks. But I got to figure out what I'm going to pull. All right, going back, ending out July. Probably, I want to say this may be my favorite Coen Brothers movie. If not, it's my second favorite. But Inside Llewyn Davis, by far my favorite Oscar Isaac performance. But this is loosely based on an actual true person. Happens in the 60s, late 60s. And he is a folk singer. It's almost, like I say, there is a damn near this is damn near a perfect movie for me. Follows Llewyn through his trials of trying to make it in the music business. The movie makes you feel for him and hope he succeeds. He does a fantastic job. The supporting cast is great as well. There are small but intricate performances from John Candy, Adam Driver, and Justin Timberlake as well. The soundtrack is awesome. All original music, I believe. If not original music, it is the guy it's based on. But this is just a really good movie of a loner musician trying to make it and get through there. And like I said, the supporting cast was great. Tries to go to Chicago to find out why he's not getting a record deal. To come and find out that his manager just hasn't been promoting him at all. So he tries out for the guy, and the guy's like, nah. So he basically wasted a whole trip for nothing. And by the end of the movie, he really starts to find his place, and it's just a really great movie. If you've never seen Inside Llewyn Davis, it's an awesome move. Let's see. Let's see who all we got here. Kal-El. Yeah, Letterboxd. This is the second time I've done this, Bob. I did one back in, I think, July, but I wanted to do it at the end of every month, but I just don't watch enough movies a month to justify it. So I had some free time today. Plus, it's a beautiful day out. Southern Indiana, it's like 72, bright and sunshiny and breezy. It's just a beautiful day outside, and I'm inside. Go figure. Let's see. I had 23 of those stills you guys pulled on that show. That's a lot. That is a lot. Yeah, I know you're not big into the foreign things. I know you've picked up a few, but if I even told you at one time, getting into that foreign market will get expensive. So that's how we ended out July, inside Llewyn Davis. Then August, stuff that had been just sitting on the back burner. First thing I watched was The Northmen. 5 stars. I thought this movie was fantastic. The movie is beautiful and brutal. A boy fit to be king watches his father killed by his own brother and seeks revenge on him. Between the love story, the Viking myths, and the fight scenes, the movie has it all. The location this was filmed in were over the top gorgeous. Not much more to say other than watch it. This movie was brutal. It was unforgiving. Skarsgård was great. Anya Joy Taylor was fantastic. Even the short stint of Bjork in there as the crazy shaman woman was awesome. But this movie does not hold back, and it's Eggers, right? I believe Robert Eggers. I really can't wait because I think he's doing another movie soon too. But Northmen, highly, highly recommend that if you haven't seen it. It's a fantastic feast of the eyes. Let's see. Oh yeah, my Letterboxd name. It is just Movies with Ryan. It's the same. I try to keep my name same across YouTube, Instagram, and Letterboxd. So I guess I should have put that on here. Yes, yeah, yes, absolutely, very expensive foreign stuff. Love The Northman. Yeah, The Northman I thought was a great movie. But oh yeah, Bob just added me. Awesome. Yeah, I know some people, have got different names. When I started, it was all fresh. So you only gave it 4 stars, 4K. I must have been in the mood because I hadn't watched it. I delayed so long to watch it because I was watching nothing but Criterion. I guess when I watched it, it just blew me away. I'm sure if I go back and watch it, I could probably change the stars on that. But all right, next. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Again, another movie I held off all of July to watch. This movie was a blast. Nick Cage going full Cage is fun. I like how they carried the story through and how it mimics his true life. Cool little twist throughout, and I like the story with a story aspect. Pedro Pascal surprised me as well. Pedro's not really one of my favorite actors, but he was pretty good in here. I will say, though, I gave this 4 stars. It probably would have been 3.5. The end of it kind of drug on. But overall, it was just fun seeing Nick Cage actually embracing himself and being Nick Cage. I thought it was awesome. Next, on the third, this was kind of a disappointment. I love Bob's Burgers. Love the TV show. But this movie did not feel anything special. I gave it 3.5 stars. It looked good in 4K. It looked fantastic in 4K. But it really felt like they smashed like 3 of the episodes together and just made a movie about it. And I honestly feel like the movie felt like an older episode from, I forget what season it was, but the Wonder Wharf deal. It really felt like they recycled it and just threw it under a different name. And the songs, Bob's Burger it's a musical. The TV show, they have music in there all the time. And the songs were just they didn't feel good. They didn't feel original. So I was kind of disappointed by it. But the Steelbook looks fantastic. Let's see. Yeah, I log every damn movie I watch. I love that. Yeah, that's the only way I can remember if I watched it or not. That's the only way. I hate The Lighthouse, and I haven't watched his other movies. I have not watched The Witch. I think that's his other movie. I have watched Lighthouse. It's definitely special. That is for sure. 3.5 stars for Unbearable. Yeah, I could explain. Yeah, I could. The ending for me probably would bump it actually down to 3.5. Still haven't watched that one. But let's see what's next. Oh, get off your ads. Oh, I went to the movie theater for the second time this year and watched Bullet Train. I even did a 60-second review reel on Instagram. I enjoyed this movie immensely. A very stylized murder mystery action piece set on a bullet train. I enjoyed this movie a lot. It reminded me of an early Guy Ritchie flick with a dash of Tarantino. The dialogue was fun and the action was great. The characters stood out from each other in the sea of great actors, and the 2 cameos were a great surprise. Overall, it was a great movie, and I think it will hold up on rewatch even after knowing the twists. This movie was just fun. Brad Pitt just being a loose, fun guy. It was comedy. The guys that play Tangerine and Lemon were fantastic. It was just overall, I loved Bullet Train. I can't wait. I think the Steelbook comes out, I don't know, next month maybe. So I can't wait. But Bullet Train, really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fantastic movie. I gave it 4 stars. I could probably have given it a 4.5 stars. Let's see. Surprise. This is not 90% Asian cinema. Man, I watch more than just Asian cinema, man. I try to watch all sorts of stuff. Just Asian is my way to go. I really like Bullet Train 4K. The 4.5 stars for me. Yeah, I could definitely see 4.5 stars on that. Because I really didn't find anything wrong with the movie. 4.5 stars is probably actually correct. Bullet Train was cool. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really did feel like it was a frantic Guy Ritchie movie with Tarantino dialogue thrown in. Steelbook is out on the 18th, I believe. Okay, good. I can't wait to get it. Can't wait for the Steelbook. I don't like that they're doing 2 different ones. I don't know if they're doing it at Best Buy, but overseas they're doing 2. Like it's an $8 markup for some just cards, some picture cards, and that's it. Hey, there you go, 4K Lowdown. I'm going to get you on my channel in November if you're up for it. Bob's been doing killer live content. That man is always on live. It's awesome. I can't wait. I cannot wait for tomorrow. See how the slipcover people do. And then I cannot wait for the finals next Monday. That's going to be awesome. The next day I had to be up in like 4.5 hours after that one ended. Tuesday sucked, but I cannot wait until next Monday. Moving on, finally watched Ambulance, 3 stars. It's total Bayham. Ambulance is an okay action heist movie that is blown up by Bay. Over-the-top action pieces with over-the-top acting and where the bad guys never hit a single thing while shooting 600-plus rounds and never reloading. Turn off your brain for 2 hours and strap in for drone footage carnage. Enough said. I will say, though, I will rewatch this because it looked really, really good. Jake Gyllenhaal was, I think, maybe a notch or 2 too high on the crazy factor. That kind of killed it for me. But overall, it's not a bad movie. It's a Michael Bay movie. It's exactly what you expect. So 3 stars for Ambulance. Total Bayham. Here you go, Kal-El. The 7th. I watched this for my weird and wacky live stream that 4K Lowdown was a part of. This is a weird, wacky movie. It's by Takashi Miike. It is The Happiness of the Katakuris. And who put acid in my drink? Oh, yeah, it was Takashi Miike. Another weird-ass entry in a huge catalog. This movie is a zombie murder mystery musical. Yes, a musical. The Hills Have a lot. The Sound of Music. Yeah, that's where it kind of comes from. The Katakuris own a bed and breakfast that is going nowhere fast. Finally, one day, guests start showing up and then dying overnight. They decide to bury them only for them to come back to life for the big musical finale. They basically have the Sound of Music thriller ending. Oh, yeah, there's a love story between the daughter and a fake British agent as well. Only Miike can pull something off this weird yet enjoyable. This movie was fucking crazy. It was total Miike. And Yeah. Crazy, weird, wacky. Definitely fit all those bills. We got the one with the cards and overpriced. Yeah, it's like $12, $8, $12 overpriced. It's stupid. I have offended the Shaolin Temple. I am sorry. Well, Takashi Miike, he's Asian cinema, man. I am down Bob's Blu-rays. Cal, do you live stream on YouTube? Cal does not. He won't even show his face. Will not even show his face. I gave Ambulance 4 stars, but I should give it done 3.5. Love the 4K transfer. It looks fantastic. It looks fantastic. But yeah, it's a typical Bay movie. Couldn't help yourself. Yeah. Yeah. Kal-El does. Just you'll never see his face. I seen Kal-El's kitchen floor one time. He's got white linoleum in his kitchen. I can tell you that. That's probably the most anybody knows about Kal-El. All right, let's see. Next, You Were Never Really Here, or the French title, It's a Beautiful Day. Starring Joaquin Phoenix. I gave this 4 stars. It's Drive without the car and the mask and the cool scorpion jacket and the hot ladies and Ryan Gosling. I still enjoyed the hell out of it, though. Dark, brooding, Joaquin Phoenix hammering the shit out of dudes. Not in a gay way, with a hammer. Minimal dialogue and a weird camera angles. It all makes for an interesting revenge-style movie. So basically, he is just this badass hitman that nobody knows he's a hitman, and he gets tasked to find this girl, and he does. And then something happens, and then something happens again, and then he goes and beats the shit out of some people. I loved it. Joaquin Phoenix is just a badass in this movie. If you've never seen it, it's just crazy. Let's see. What do you call my recommend 10 event, Ryan? What do you call my recommend 10 event? When was that, man? You need to do another one because that was, I know all those little issues popped up. Following you on Letterboxd. Now, I thought me and you followed each other 4K. If not, I'll follow you right back. I follow people on Letterboxd, but I never really read other people's reviews. And I know that's kind of bad, but I hear there's a screenshot of Cal's eyebrow floating around the interwebs. Oh, I wish I would have got a screenshot of his linoleum floor. He was cleaning something up, and I heard, I don't think he said, "Oh shit," but I heard some mumblings, and it flipped over. So I seen his floor. Put my business out there on the street, Ryan. I'm going to have to teach you something, young man. Man, I am older than you. I don't want to hear it. Cal, it's been a while, man. It's been a while since I started my new job, man. I've kind of lost touch with everybody I was talking to semi-daily, doing the lives and all that. But I'm trying to get back into it. That's why I wanted to do this today. Kind of get back into touch. Need to get back in the swing of things. I don't need no sleep. All right. August 11th. Vampire's Kiss. I have not watched this literally since it came out. I probably watched it in 1989 is when I watched it. Maximum Cage. He thinks he gets bitten by a sexy she-vamp and has delusions of himself being a vampire. Peak crazy Cage, and that's all that needs to be said. Classic mid-range comedy. I gave it 4 stars. This movie is just nuts. It leaves it up to the end. I know it inspired American Psycho because you don't know if it's real, if what's going on is in his head, all that stuff. It leaves it up to interpretation. I think he was delusional. I think he was overworked and delusional. But Cage being crazy was awesome. Let's see if I can do this. Can I do it?
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Still had it in there. Awesome. Anyway, we'll go back. I can't figure out where I'm at. I've lost myself. Hey, Jared Renner, how's it going, man? Let's see. Yeah, Movie Hunter 2020 gets no shade for being a fan. The dude has over 6,000 steelbooks in his collection. I'm not going to shoot him any shade whatsoever. Hey, Jared Runner, I think I just said that. These are all lies. Man, this is great. So Vampire's Kiss, 4 stars. I love the movie. It's Nick Cage. Next, another movie I've not watched since I was a kid. This came out in 1991. And after watching this, I must have watched the TV version because I do not remember all the tits being in this movie. And yeah, I even said it here. I haven't watched this movie since the mid-90s. It must have been the edited for TV version. This movie is cheesy and great. Dolph and Brandon's chemistry as buddy cops is fantastic, and the humor is quick and funny. Basically, Dolph is getting revenge for his parents' death at the hands of the new Yakuza boss in town. Brandon is partnered with him and they both get a crash course in different worlds. Good plot, good flow, good action, entertaining banter. Highly recommend. Showdown Little Tokyo. So Brandon is, of course, Asian, but he grew up in like the wealthy part of LA. So he has no association whatsoever with Asian Americans. And then Dolph grew up basically as like a karate master. So their worlds are thrown up on each other, and like basically they have to give each other a crash course while trying to be partners and not kill each other. And it's just a great movie. Over the top. Love Brandon Lee. Love Dolph Lundgren. This is a great movie. Uh-oh. There's only 2,000 U.S. releases. I thought there was way more than that. That's still a lot. I mean, that is a lot. Ryan, I want to see Battle Jagoda Blue 7 in a steelbook battle. I would love to, but I know he would win just because of the premiums he has. And I mean, I sort of kind of battled him already in the tag team thing, and we got our ass handed to us, but you know, it's whatever. Now that would be a pay-per-view. Oh, I see. Bias for steelbook collectors are high here. They get away with it all. We do. We're the snobbish of snobs. We're up there with those Criterion people. I had that poster for Showdown. I love this cheesy movie. So 4 stars. Yeah, I'm the same way. 4 stars. It's just a good movie. I shouldn't say it's a good movie, but it's a good movie. Let's see. August 13th. Yeah, I start slowing down at the end of August because this is when I started my new job. Romeos Bleeding. I hadn't seen this since it came out. It's got not Defoe. What is his name? Alan Rickman? Is it Alan Rickman? No, it's not Alan Rickman. Who played Hans Gruber? Or was that Rickman? I don't remember. Anyway, I watched this because I got the German steelbook of it. So a crooked cop gets himself tangled up in a deal and all goes wrong. This movie has a stellar cast and a good plot, but suffers for being all over the place. And it was. Overall, though, it's good crime noir, thriller type movie and quite enjoyable. So I think the editing in this movie was horrible. I did give it 3.5 stars. Just a crazy ride. And finishing out August. Yeah, August 19th. So I started my new job on the 17th. And after that, like I said, I get up at 3:30 in the morning. I'm at work by 4:30, and I'm just dead tired by early morning. But the Ballad of Narayama. At 70 years of age, the patriarch is carried to Narayama, which is a mountain, to pass. This is the story of the eldest woman of a family and her son and new wife coming to terms of the choice she has made to take the journey. She wants to go to Narayama. A beautifully crafted story and family tradition and dynamics told in a play-like fashion. What I found most interesting was the set design. It appears as if all was filmed in one big building and the sets were dynamic. What I mean by that was like, if they're walking, it's like the back would also be moving, and like it was a set in front of a set, and it was very dynamic. It looked awesome. Yeah, scenes transition from one to another series of moving parts. I've never seen that before, and it helped move the story along with minimal cuts. So this is kind of a sad story because it's basically this tradition that the eldest go up to the top of Narayama and basically starve to death and die. And the family has to come to that terms, and her son loses his wife, and this woman from the next village over comes over and becomes his wife, and she basically helps them transition into acceptance of her going to Narayama. beautifully filmed movie. And like I said, the set design was awesome. I could not believe it. So there's another Asian cinema for you, Cal. And September was underwhelming as well. 4 movies. Started off on the 9th. I watched this on Disney Plus. Thor: Love and Thunder. Yes, I gave it 4 stars. I do not rate my Marvel movies the same as any of my other movies I watch. So a 4-star it's good, but that's kind of like the middle of the road for all of the Marvel movies for me. This movie looked fantastic. Costume design was fantastic. Sounded fantastic. Looked fantastic in 4K. It progressed the story along for the phase. My only issue throughout this was the constant humor. If Taika Waititi would have came in, cut all the humor out, or cut it down to a minimum, and made this like a really serious movie, especially with Jane coming back and the dynamic between them two, this movie would have been awesome. But yeah, Thor: Love and Thunder. It's middle of the road Marvel for me. Probably my second favorite Thor movie. I'd hate to say that, but I think that's it. Let's see. Alan Rickman. Okay, so it's not Alan Rickman. I don't think it's Alan Rickman. Who is the main guy in Romeos Bleeding? Gary Oldman. It was Gary. Yeah, Gary Oldman. Okay. I don't know why I got Alan Rickman and Gary Oldman confused. Gary Oldman was in The Professional too, I believe, wasn't he? Or was that Rickman? I don't remember. Steelbook. Was there a steelbook of Showdown Tokyo? Yes, there is. There is a steelbook for that. I think it was a Zabi exclusive. There's 123 DVD stills, and the end of 2021, there was about 1,450 4K blue, only counting set as one title. Yeah, the UK, well, not even just UK, Europe just in general has way more. I think they've got like 2 or 3 plants over there that do steelbooks. Yeah, I really didn't know. I thought there was a lot more US steelbooks than that. Maybe it just feels like it. Sounds like shade because it is. Yes. Man, I'm not copping, please. Derek, Convicted Cinephile, said something about these. You gave that 4 stars? Yeah, I gave it 4 stars. But that's middle of the road for me on a Marvel. Love Thorn, yeah, got 3.5 stars for me. Yeah, I mean, that's probably honestly what it deserves. Hey, Culture Treaty, what's up, man? Yeah, Gary Oldman's the main guy. I don't know why I always get him and Alan Rickman confused. Yeah, Oldman, yeah, he was a damn good protagonist or antagonist in The Professional. The Professional is probably easily in my top favorite movies of all time, top 10, easily. Professional is Oldman, shows some Rickford. Man, you know, when you get older, Cal, you start losing some brain cells, and it's hard to remember stuff. Everybody saying hi to Culture. All right, I think I got 3 more. See what was next. Shiva Baby. So I picked this up on the Vinegar Syndrome halfway to Black Friday sale, and I had heard good things about it. Why is the picture not showing up? Anyway, so I had heard really good things about this. Miranda, and I forget who else. Maybe Movie Chatter. Somebody else had recommended it. Anyway, so it's the story of this girl that she's got a sugar daddy. And one of her friends' family members die, so she has to go to the Shiva, which is like a Jewish rite of passing or whatever. And she runs into her ex-girlfriend because she's like quasi-lesbian, and her sugar daddy, and all sorts of anxiety ensues. This was kind of like a Uncut Gems or Good Times, the Safdie brothers. It was very anxiety-ridden. And trying to deal with multiple issues all at one time, Danielle is on the verge of a mental breakdown during the whole 77-minute runtime. This movie's short, 77 minutes. The movie does a great job of intertwining the multiple storylines without muddling everything together, and it definitely keeps you on the edge. Great movie. There it is. But this movie was fantastic. I mean, I can't wait to rewatch it to see if I still got the anxiety on it. But dialogue is light, but it's very precise. And when she gets to the Shiva and her sugar daddy shows up and come find out he's married and has a kid, like that throws even more stuff on there. But Shiva Baby, I thought it was really good. 4 stars. I forget who did it. I think it was maybe a first time director or maybe her second time. I don't remember. Let's see. Professional, one of my favorites. Well, yeah, easily top 10. Culture Cheney. Ryan, have you seen The Man from Nowhere? Korean version? I have not watched it yet. I own it. It is downstairs on the shelf. I need to watch it. I know you've promoted that a few times, and I've had it, and I've just, so many damn movies, so little time. I need to watch it, though, because I've heard it's really, really good. That, and I just picked up, was it The Cop, the Gangster, and the Devil? I need to watch that, too. I think that's from the same director, maybe. Could be completely wrong. September 17th. Man, September was horrible. This is a Jim Jarmusch movie. I love Jim Jarmusch. I believe it's Jim Jarmusch. Yeah. Coffee and Cigarettes. Now, this was filmed over 17 years, and it's basically actors and musicians having conversations with each other, and the only thing between each little vignette, I think there's 11 or 12 of them. What did I say? Yeah, 11 vignettes. The only thing that is the same between all of them is that there is coffee and cigarettes in all of them. And out of the 11 conversations, there was only like 2 or 3 I liked. This was the most god-awful, boring movie I think I've watched in a long time, and I was highly disappointed because I've always heard good things about it. And, I can't recommend this to anybody. I think the only good can I actually pull it up here? I don't think I can. Oh, yeah, I can. Yeah, this was one of the best ones here. I think it's Jizza and Riza and Bill Murray. Like, that one was really good. And the Steve Buscemi with the good and evil twins. I forget which one it is. That was pretty good. And there was a one with Alfred Molina. But it even had Meg White and Jack White in there, and I love them, and it was not good. Not good. I don't recommend Coffee and Cigarettes to anybody. Plus, I think the Blu-ray's out of print, and I got a German copy. But Humus. Man, that was in July. It was Criterion month. I was trying to catch up on my Asian Criterion stuff that I hadn't watched. The Man from Nowhere is amazing. I know. I need to watch it. I bought it actually. I bought it because you had recommended it at Culture. I need to watch it. Yeah, the movie wasn't even decaf. I think somebody just threw some dirt in a coffee pot and just tried to boil it. It was horrible. God, it was awful. And finally, ended out in September. Man, what the hell? Credit with Grammarly. The Wailing. I finally got to watch this. I've owned it now for like 6 months, and I finally got to watch it. Trying to get ready for Spooky Month, even though I really don't do Spooky Month. 5 stars. This movie blew me away. Everybody said it was really good, and it did not disappoint. So it's about a mysterious Japanese man that takes residence outside a small village, and bad things start to happen. This was a well-crafted horror thriller and done in a way as to not take itself too seriously. The acting was great and beautifully shot. The best part was the ending. It was left open to your own interpretation. Highly recommend. So several people had recommended watching The Wailing. I think it's Martinez Joe's, like one of his favorite Korean movies. Mika from Devil Horror Podcast had said it was great and all that. And like I said, I picked it up because it was Korean. Love the Korean stuff, but The Wailing, highly, highly, highly recommend. So that's going to do it on Letterboxd. That was up to there. I need to watch a couple of movies because I've got to get some homework in for some live streams coming up. But yep, good one. Yeah, I think Culture. You may have even recommended it to The Wailing. Like I was not disappointed at all. I was thoroughly impressed with it, and I really liked the filming style of it. It wasn't trying to take itself too seriously. The lead character is kind of bumbling, but you feel for him. It was just overall a really good movie. I don't do spooky month. What a surprise. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing some spooky stuff. Yeah, just watch bad movies for a month and talk about the horror of how bad they are. I could do that. I'm thinking about changing some stuff up on my channel. I did that favorite 5. It didn't get any views at all. I mean, it got views, but not enough. My favorite 5's never really done well anyway, so I'm thinking about cutting that segment. And then my monthly cleanup, my monthly watch-a-madoodle. I forget what the heck it is. My monthly wrap-up. There we go. Doesn't do well either. I'm thinking about just doing thrifting videos, unboxings, and I don't know what else. Yeah, thinking about changing stuff up, especially with my the way my work schedule is going, all that, changing stuff up. I might start breaking up my stuff and doing maybe 2 videos a week. Because I mean, I'm doing like 1 video a week, 20-minute video. I could break that up into 2 videos, 2 10-minute videos, and maybe offset that a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't start YouTube to like be anybody, so I may change things up. We'll have to see. My guy said homework for live stream. Who wouldn't want a person like that on their streams? Man, I want to. Not that I don't know what I'm talking about, but I want to know what I'm talking about and be convincing of what I'm talking about. I like to be at least informed of what I'm doing. I know, like, I'm going to be doing something with Plight X2. He's got me hooked up for something coming up for Criterion Month. I've got something coming up November with Geeks and Flicks. Alex, I think his name is. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I like the Fave 5. Reminds me of T-Mobile. I like doing the Fave 5, but doing a structured set for me is kind of harder because I don't feel like I put enough information out there. Like, I'm bad at gathering and distributing that information. Like, that's why you'll never see me do like a roundup like what Ken does, where he pulls all that information there and shows what's coming up. I just can't. I'm a better on the fly type of person. Like, when I do my videos, if you watch my videos, it's all one take, hardly any cuts at all. Once I start talking, boom, 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 boom. That's me just talking. Same thing with live streams. I love it because it's unedited. I can flow a lot better. When I try to do structured stuff like that favorite 5, I feel like it's kind of just a letdown to the people watching it. And I feel like maybe that's why people don't watch it. But, it's whatever. What else do I got coming up? We got the Bob's thing coming up in a week. I am excited for that. I know J Fox is probably going to win between him and Jake, maybe. But I really want to see what the slipcover people come with. I know Brian Goes Blue is on there. And who else? Let's see. Bob's Blu-rays. Where's Bob? There we go. See if I can pull up his thing. It looks like he's only done in the story. But yeah, I can't wait for that. I want to see what the slipcovers do. Just for the simple fact. Man, it's not even up on there either. Oh crap. Yeah, it's not even up on there. Anyway, I want to see what slipcover people do, because there are some awesome slipcover stuff, especially like the Scream Factory, or even getting into like Severin, Vinegar Syndrome, all that stuff, Blue Underground and whatnot. And I know Brian Goes Blue will definitely be in like one of the top ones. Tony will definitely be one of the top ones. But see, who else the other two are going to be, because it's going to be interesting. I have a feeling overall Steelbooks are probably going to win, but it'd be interesting to see what the slip people pull. Like I said, I've got an idea of what I want to do. I think I'm going to do, if we do 5 rounds, I'm going to have 1 slip, 4 Steelbooks. If we do 7 rounds, I'm going to have 2 slips, 5 Steelbooks. I think is whatever I want to do. But, it's whatever. You thinking too much into it, man. You and Trini are the biggest overthinkers the community do it. Well, that's why I don't do the favorite 5 that often. Like, I do it maybe once every couple months, but it's just kind of disappointing putting content out there and just don't get views. But again, I got to look at it from the point of view of I didn't start YouTube to get famous or anything like that. I got in here to do battles. I did a battle, but the community has been so great. I've met some of the greatest people. It's supportive. And it's a good place. It's definitely filled a little bit of a void. Plus, it's helping me do the whole speech thing. Like, I've always been a bad conversationalist, a bad speech person. To go out in front of a group of people, I was not the person to talk. So it's really helped also. But, you put your heart into it. You make the content and it don't get views. That can be disappointing every once in a while. One of these days, I want to see you do just a nice, not like a title for title video, but just an in-depth view of what your collection looks like now. Because I know your collection has like gone to and fro. Like, you've gotten rid of stuff, you've collected, you get stuff. I seen your pickup the other day. You had some great pickups. But I want to see like what your collection really is. Nah. But no, that's pretty much it. But we're coming up. We are at an hour on this live stream. I went through everything I have watched. So I'm going to end this right here. I want to hop off here. So I just want to say good night, or I should say good day, because it's only 2:47 here. But Culture, Kal-El, Movie Hunter, Bob, 4K Lowdown, Jared, if you're still in here, everybody that showed up, I greatly appreciate it. But I'm going to take off. Like I always say, it's Ryan from Movies with Ryan. Until I see you again, you all have a fantastic night.